So how do we surpass the veil and feel our oneness with God? Hey guys, it's John here in my living room enjoying a beautiful afternoon. I have a session coming up in about 40 minutes, but I thought I'd hop on and I would do this quick video to talk about this concept of breaking past the veil, going beyond the veil and experiencing our oneness with God. Let's talk about the concept of a veil first of all. There's many different ideas about the veil. The Bible has several references to the veil. The Hebrew Bible talks about the bridal veil, the veil over a bride being married off. And the veil in the Hebrew marriage ceremony is meant to show the female's subjugation to the male. She's not supposed to show herself, not out of it being a beautiful dress, but out of the fact that it's modesty and purity that this man is receiving. And so it comes from a very patriarchal sort of male-dominant society a couple thousand years ago. And that veil goes on in that. But when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, the Sufis talk about the veil in a very different way. They say God is on one side of a veil, and we're on the other side of the veil, and our life is the struggle against the veil, and the veil is our fear. So it's literally talking about this fearless state that is God on the other side of this veil, and the veil being our personal fears and anxieties. Now, this ties directly in to what happened with me in my past life regression, because I went to this other side. I experienced this pure love of God. And when the regressionist said, what's the next most important moment? The next most important moment for me was feeling my fears, my anxieties, my stresses, to understand what separation from God felt like. So the veil literally is our fear. And when they say bring the kingdom of heaven to earth, it's literally releasing your fears and your anxieties and coming to know God fully. Now, if we go back to the Bible, we go to 2 Corinthians 3, 16 to 18. I'd like to just read this, and then I'll dive into this translation in an interesting way. Here it goes. But whenever someone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. For the Lord is the Spirit, and wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. So all of us who have had the veil removed can see and reflect the glory of the Lord. And the Lord, who is Spirit, makes us more and more like Him as we are changed into His glorious image. So I love this quote for a lot of reasons, because if you take the idea of a male patriarchal God out of this equation and you just go directly to the meaning of this from the concept of God, that feeling of pure love being on one side of a veil and we're on the other side of the veil, and the veil is our fear, and you tie it into what this Corinthians says, and taking the idea of a Lord, a subjugative external God, out of the picture. So let me look at it from that perspective. But whenever someone turns to Spirit, the veil is taken away. And wherever the Spirit is, there is freedom. So all of us who have had the veil removed can see and reflect the glory of Spirit. And the Spirit will make us more and more like Spirit, and will be changed into the glorious image. So when you look at this idea, it's literally saying the Spirit, this feeling of love on the other side of this veil of our fear, is taking away our ability to experience it. But once we remove our fear, the Buddha said the secret to enlightenment is the eradication of fear. Once we remove our fears and we come back to that Spirit, which is pure love, our very non-corporeal, which is another word for spirit, our non-corporeal selves, is based in love. It is our natural state, love. And so to remove our fears and our anxieties and our stresses and come back to that space, we've unveiled ourselves from our connection to God. We've unveiled ourselves from the feeling of love fully. And we come back to this place and we say, once we do that, we become more loving. We become more caring. We start to show ourselves to the world as in the image of love. We start to see the world from a perspective of love, from spirit, from that non-corporeal essence of ourself, which is made of love. And so to surpass, to break free of the veil, the first thing you have to do is you have to become fearless. Let go of all your fears and anxieties. And the only moment you have the ability to do anything is your present moment. And so in your present moment, exhale. Because when we have a fear state in our body, we store air in our lungs. Exhale. And just feel that freedom. The word freedom in Corinthians was well used because it says, whoever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Wherever Spirit is, where that Spirit, that pure oneness without fear, there is where freedom is. I did a video a while back on my other channel about the idea of the Christian exodus. One of the big reasons people left the church is because they wanted freedom. And the biggest benefit they got, and the first benefit they all said they got, was freedom, right? So they're literally breaking free of the fears and the dogmas and the doctrines, and they're coming back to this non-corporeal love that is there as part of who they are naturally. And the more they come back to that loving place within themselves and start loving one another, as Joshua said, the veil is lifted. And I can tell you from experience, the more loving you are, the more love you get. And the people who are fearful will be sometimes threatened by that. But don't succumb to their fears by being fearful of what they say. Be you to your fullest. Love to your fullest. Release your fears and anxieties. Step into the world. The veil will fall and you will become the image of love, the image of God, the image of the Spirit. And that is how you break free of the veil. That is how you go to the other side and become your oneness with God. Because that thing that it says in Corinthians, you are changed into his glorious image. You become the oneness of God. The Father and I are one. And you must become one with me as I'm with the Father. We're all one. 1 + 1 = 1. And right here in this physical world, we're all one. And it's the fears and the anxieties that give us division and separation. And then we have to release those and come back to our fearless state in the present moment, present and fearless, present and fearless. You get present and fearless, and you will drop the veil, and you will experience your oneness. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.